Check. Good morning to our distinguished speaker and all participants. Welcome back to the second day of our program today. I really hope that you had a pleasant rest and get ready to another insightful and engaging session today. So next we will proceed with the session on practical DCC tools. So I kindly invite to our PTB expert to guide the session, Dr. 𝙄𝙤𝙣𝙙𝙤𝙤 and Dr. 𝙂𝙗𝙣𝙠𝙗. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sorry for being late. I wanted to start with a citation from Lord of the Rings, where Gandalf says, "A wizard is never too late," but I am too late today, so I am no wizard. We have learned, I guess. I would start with some answers to some questions from yesterday. So there was a question, what about DCC in DAX, for example? So I have summarized it a little bit. So DAX is a German accreditation body. It's official national accreditation body even. I have placed some links in there when you want to read about it a little bit or get further information. Please do so. I think I didn't upload it yet. I will do it in the course of the day. I will upload it in the downloads folder. Yes, and DAX offers e-attestation for accredited calibration laboratories. It's some kind of a digital seal. So accredited calibration laboratories could give out sealed DCCs. So the DAX for itself is not giving out DCCs. It's for support for accredited calibration laboratories. So it's giving the digital infrastructure for calibration laboratories. It's called e-attestation in this case. I've summarized some short information about it, but I would continue to next. I think there were also some questions about DKD. It's a German calibration service. I said yesterday, I think I said it's a body of the PTB. That's not the case. The official term is it's a panel of PTB. So, but it's a little bit separated because it has some different tasks. It's intended to promote uniformity and consistency in metrology and provides supplementary technical support for calibration laboratories, industry, and whoever. And I think there are cooperation between international national metrology institutes also, if I'm not wrong. However, for this presentation of today, what's important is good practices. We started in the DCC core team with local experts at PTB, but our baby has grown a little bit up, so we have a little bit given this creation of DCC good practices to the DKD. There are the metrology experts, there's the industry, and what we are doing now as a DCC core team, we also give our support there. So it's the creation of good practices has a little bit wandered from the DCC core team to the DKD. We have shown you some DCC good practice examples. Some of them were created at the DCC core team. For example, for temperature, we had a good practice. There's currently, I think, in the DKD group for temperature, there will be a new DKD good practice. So don't wonder if you say, okay, the DKD good practice does not look like what you have shown to us. These are previous steps or older versions, I would say. So then here are the contact information if you are interested. I think they offer cooperation with national metrology institutes, but you can also contact them directly and ask if you are interested. I think it will be welcomed. So okay, now I will in a short presentation will try to explain a little bit what are DKD good practices. And at the start of it, again, I will begin with this one level of the levels of machine readability. We have said, okay, for this, we need some common structures, common ref types, some common language. And today the focus is a little bit on the good practice. So it would be for the different test areas, there would be harmonized data structures, I would say, also including ref types, but it's not the focus of today. So I would, to say it short, I would say good DKD or DCC good practices are agreed common structures. You will ask, why is this necessary? So that in order for the DCC schema to cover a lot of areas, different testing fields, the schema needs to be flexible. So what is enough for temperature maybe may not be enough for, I don't know, chemical measurements or so. So there's a little bit flexibility. Too much flexibility makes it hard for machines to interpret it. So there we need good practices, some agreed templates, which then make it again easier to harmonize and to to let the machine interpret the data. So, I would say also it's 3 ingredients maybe for good practices. As I said, agreed data structures, the Pareto principle. Sometimes to cover certain things, 100% is difficult. It takes a lot of time, but 80% you can achieve more easier. So, that's one of the focus. And also, what's important for good practices is the input of metrology experts, since they know the certain area. And for example, as a DCC core team member, I may not know. So I'm just trying to, we are working a little bit as consultants, maybe, or technical experts, I would say. And right now here we have a status of the DKD expert reports, where available. I have shared the links there. This slide is from Mr. Thomas Kra. His contact data is in there if you're interested. And I have some spooky font in there. I will say, Ali, why do you come here and bring some spooky fonts? It's copied from the DKD slide, so it's actually not from me. But in midst of April, we had a hackathon where we tried to push some expert reports that were in development. And Moritz, if you are ready, I will pass on to you.
Thank you, Ali. Good morning also from my side. I need to share my screen now. So I want to talk a little bit about the aspects that we had to consider for creating the force DCC example with a DKD. So we started with this analog calibration certificate on the left for force transducers according to ISO 376. And the first draft we created with an Excel tool that was made by 𝙃𝙖𝙣𝙙𝙗, who's also at PDB. And this, he stores all the data from the calibration automatically into an Excel sheet. And then he developed a program that can make the digital calibration certificate out of that data. And then you can store an XML file directly from your measurement data. And the discussion resulted in extending the XML example a little bit to cover more cases that are relevant for accredited laboratories, for example. We had to add some more components for the calibration item, which was not in this PDB analog calibration certificate. We had to add additional measuring equipment and influence conditions, for example, this transducer zero signal. And yeah, we also had to create a new namespace for ref types, the force namespace. And yeah, that was essential because yeah, for harmonization, we all need to agree on one meaning of this XML code. And yeah, DKD was involved in the definition of these ref types, and together we filled the database on 𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙦. And we used a combination of basic ref types and the force-specific ref types. And yeah, actually also math ref types, which are not in there yet. Here you can access this 𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙦 database. And yeah, I think yeah, 56 ref types, something around that, we had to define for the force DCC example. Yeah, here's an example for a ref type. Name and content elements of a DCC, they are not regulated, so you can write whatever you want in there. So this is not good for machine interpretability. You can say this is the ambient condition temperature, or you can write influence condition or just temperature. So you need to agree on a ref type to identify this ambient condition. So we reused the basic temperature ref type from the basic namespace, and we used a ref type from the math namespace to determine that this quantity is the lowest value in a set of values, the minimum. Yeah, and together, these ref types, they determine the meaning of this XML code. Because there can be many influence conditions in there, and might be humidity, might be, yeah, whatever, zero signal. Yeah, let's look at such a table for the measurement series. We have 6 measurement series. Some of them are measured with the force going up. Others are measured with the force going down. And we have these empty cells here in this analog table. No. Yeah, first, let's look at the header here. We also have some metadata here. So we have the mounting position with 0 degrees, 120, and 240 degrees. And we also had to make sure that it's stored machine readable, that the machine can read the values for the mounting position. So we stored it in the metadata element here. So each quantity element, so yeah, each column here refers to one quantity element. And there's a metadata element associated to each quantity element. And the metadata element contains the mounting position. Yeah, if you look at the analog certificate, you can see there are many tables, like 11 tables or so. And yeah, why are they separated? Actually, they're just separated because it's printed out on a paper, and the paper is only like 21 centimeters wide. So we don't have this limitation with the DCC. That's why we decided to combine the table, at least table 4 to table 7, and make one large table with one reference column. And yeah, that improves the machine interpretability because all the data is stored in one table. The machine only needs to read that one table. Yeah, now the empty cells here in the table. So for example, measurement series 3 is an upward series. And then after that, the measurement series 4 is performed and it goes down again. So the value for the force of 1000 kilonewton is not measured again. So that's why there's an empty cell. And yeah, we had to represent these empty cells somehow, since we make just one large table. And in the DSI, there is it's possible to put an NaN, not a number, value in such a realistic cell list. So we just replaced, we filled these empty values with NaN. And here's a table of the classifications. And these are not numbers, these are just strings. 00 is not a real number. And we had to restructure this table that it fits into this large table. So we had to change the reference values. And here we couldn't use NaN for the empty cells, because that could lead to misinterpretation, since it's not a number anyway. It's a string. So this is what a table in the DCC, and then printed out as human readable again. This is what it looks like. We decided for a force of 0, we don't have any class, so we say it's undefined. And if a class, if the class requirements are not met, we decided to use no class as an expression. So this is what it looks like in XML. Pointer. Here we have the list of reference values, the steps up to 1000 kilonewton, and here for case A we have the classifications, and here for case B, and for 0 and for the force of 0 kilonewton, we couldn't determine any class. So we defined that it's fine. We also have functions in this DCC. So there's mathml. It's another XML schema that can represent functions to be machine interpretable, and there we use specifically content mathml. And what is important here, it's the parameters, these coefficients, and we store them in a list of quantities, and they get ref types force coefficient, and that's how they can be identified. And these whole functions, they are also stored in a separate result. Okay, that was what I wanted to tell you about the force example.
Thank you very much, Moritz. That would be the conclusion to the DCC good practices. I've uploaded the presentation on them into the folder, and thank you very much.
So now we come to the next part of our workshop. Today we would like you to create a whole DCC yourself, and for that we are going to use the GemiMag tool version 1. And this presentation gives you a short introduction into how to use the GemiMag tool and what features it has. So the GemiMag tool was created by Jan Löwe, our colleague, and Ali and I, we helped in expanding it and updating it regularly. So yeah, what is it? It's a graphical user interface for creating and editing these. And yeah, it's intended for the DCC beginner, so you don't necessarily need XML skills for that. It's nice to have anyway, but you already have that now, so no problem. And yeah, that's a convenient tool if you want to draft a new DCC, if you want to draft a new template, and you don't want to go so deep into the XML code. Yeah, you can open and read and edit existing DCCs. And there are good practice examples already built in. So if you want to have an idea of how to structure your DCC, just open a good practice example. And we have temperature, humidity, and the gauge block example there. Yeah, what features does it have? It's available as a web and a desktop application, but today we're going to use the web application. It offers an automatic schema validation for all schemas from version 3.0. You can view inline signatures of the DCC. You cannot, you cannot validate them yet, but maybe in the updated version of this tool. Yeah, you can add file attachments to the DCC, so this data that is base 64 encoded, you can just attach it easily with this tool and also open these files again. You can generate a human readable. The tool is using XSLT, and Ali said yesterday. And you can view all the files in the DCC. There's a file browser where you can list up all the files that are stored in the DCC. And there's also built-in references that help you a little bit. They reference the DCC wiki. So yeah, when you open the GemiMag tool, you can see this new DCC dialog, and you can choose between creating a new DCC or load an existing DCC. You can choose a good practice example here, or you can open a stored DCC one last worked on. Here's the main page of the GemiMag tool. We have the main content area where you enter all your content for the DCC. Here on the right and on the left, there's the navigation pane. And yeah, it's structured into 5 pages: administrative data, items, statements, measurement results, and a preview page. So yeah, we know that items and statements are actually within the administrative data section, but they can quite long, so that's why we put it on separate pages to have a better overview. There is a language selector here. Right now it's set to German, and then it shows the German text for these language attribute fields. And yeah, if you click on it, you get a drop-down menu, and there you see all the used languages, also the languages. Yeah, there's used language codes, and there's this list in core data of the DCC, and this menu up there that reflects the used languages. You can choose English, and then it sets it, yeah, to English. Here's the DCC with a signature, and yeah, that's a signature information displayed here, but not validated. Optional elements, you can often find them in a drop-down menu. So where there's a plus, there may be a drop-down menu, and you can, for example, here add a description to a statement. And choices are also in drop-down menus. here in a quantity, you can add a real, SI real, or SI realistic list. Yeah, now the links to the DCC wiki. You click on this information button. It directly links you to this wiki page. So here for core data. Also many text fields here in the DCC also have this symbol, and they directly link to the meaning of this field. Now the preview page. There are some tabs up there: human readable, XML, and files. And this is the XML preview, so you see the whole XML code of your DCC that you just created. And here you can also store the DCC as a XML file on your computer. This is the human readable page. It just displays the human readable with administrative data section and measuring results. And here, if you click on this print button, it opens the dialog where you can also print it as a PDF file. Yeah, you can also export a PDF file with the XML file of the DCC attached to it. And here, this is the Files tab. You can see all the files that are stored in the DCC. And here, if you check this field, you can also add the human readable of this DCC as a HTML file to the document section. Yeah, with this QR code, you can access this GIMIMAC tool. It's version 1. There will be a version 2. Yeah. Maybe at the end of the year, the GIMIMAC tool version 2 will be released, and that would offer an improved language management, improved user interface for XML lists. Yeah. And yeah, if you find a bug or something, tell us. We can help you. And if not, we can also make changes to the code and fix these bugs. Yeah, thank you very much. And now, yeah, first, do you have any questions so far?
Anyone has questions? Boleh. Okay, there is a question.
Thank you so much for the explanation. I would like to get more information detail about the signature. Yeah, in your, what do you call it, the application web game. Yeah. Yeah. I can you more detail explain to us related about the digital signs? Yeah.
The signatures.
Yeah, signature part. Yeah, signature part.
So I'm not such an expert about the signature part.
Yeah. Actually, I still wondering how this app encrypt the data and how the decrypt, some kind like that. I would like.
The GIMIMAC tool for itself does not decrypt and encrypt.
Okay.
But in the DCC schema, there's an element called signature. There's a special schema for it, and I don't know what tools. I know the DAX with the e-attestation does it. I think it's I think it's an open format, right? So you can regarding the schema, you can sign it with some special algorithms also.
Okay.
I think it's.
Yeah, I tried it one time. I created a Python code that can sign a DCC.
Oh.
But
okay.
I myself, I don't have a valid certificate, so I just created a self-signed certificate.
Okay.
And you can do it with any tool. Yeah, it's just an inline signature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it has been a while, so I don't remember the details anymore.
Okay.
But maybe you can try to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. It's nice. Okay. Thank you.
Well, there's one more question.
Okay. I would like to ask a question about the ref types. Is there? Can we do the customization to the ref types? Because maybe I will give you some context. Because in my lab, in temperature lab, especially when we do the calibration services for the fixed point method, usually the output for the calibration is the table and coefficient. For the table, it's okay. There's no problem. The problem is in the coefficient, because in the website I don't see the ref types for maybe coefficient A7, B7, C7 for the calibration fixed point method. Thank you.
Especially you mean the DKD tree matrix, right? With the basic and temperature and so. Yeah, customizing in that sense is not possible. What we try to do there is harmonization, that because maybe what you need, maybe somebody else also needs, so we try to input it there. But you can create your own ref types. So the DKD T-matrix is some kind of thesaurus, I think, mode, if I'm not wrong. It's you can put out your own T-matrix, for example, with some definitions there. It's possible, and yeah, I think harmonization would be good. So, but I think it's also possible that to create your own ref types there, or you can also place some IDs and ref IDs. Yeah, it's possible.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome, Kelvin.
Okay, good morning, sir. I would like to ask the question. There are two questions. The first question is currently my lab, TUV North Indonesia, already have application, web-based application. We call it SimLab, to input the testing data and also generate automatically test report. This is the application, web-based application. The first question is it possible to integrate the system to our current system, which is SimLab is web-based application? That's the first question. And the second question is, if we talk about a system which is have input data, also if you talk about measurement, the data is get from the instrument or machine. The question is how to connect, how to get the input data automatically from machine. For example, maybe we can use interface RS232 or maybe USB interface, or for example, I also study about Nasional instrument LabVIEW, which is the software is using data acquisition to get automatically data from the machine or instrument. How if we talk about this system, if we want to get automatically data from the machine, not input as a manual? That's the second question. Thank you.
So your second question, it's not possible with the GIMMIMAC tool. It's just intended for creating a draft for DCC. So if you want to have a first template, if you're starting with the DCC, then you can use the GIMMIMAC tool. You have to enter everything manually. Yeah. In GIMMIMAC tool version 2, there will be a another version that is connected to our database at PDB, but this is only internal. So there you can directly get the information from the database, the measurement data. But we don't plan to publish that. Yeah.
I think the question is very good, since, you don't want to type in a tool manually the data, but you want to get it automatically. But the GamiMac tool, so I want to say, the sources for the GamiMac tool it's open source, right, with some MIT license or so. So you could change the code probably when you have some own solution. Maybe it makes more sense to integrate the DCC exports there, since you already have the access to your data probably, right? So it makes more sense. Yeah, so the GamiMac tool is a little bit for beginners to manually create some template, and then maybe with this template you can create an automation in your system, for example. It's one way, you don't have to do it that way, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, right, as Ali said, GamiMac tool is open source. You can just take the code and try integrating it into your own system.
Okay. I also interesting about in my lab we already have some 𝙂𝙤𝙤𝙀 instrument, which is the 𝙂𝙤𝙤𝙀 instrument is they provide software and also interface for USB or RS-232. They can automatically take the data from the instrument and in the computer in Excel or another Microsoft Office application. So in my opinion, maybe it possible to how to connect that from 𝙂𝙤𝙤𝙀 system with to generate and also the system, because we have interface in Excel mode. Yeah, I think that's all. Thank you.
You are very welcome. In this special case, I don't know, but I know some institutions are also working with Excels, and then from Excel generates a DCC. That's also a way which is possible when you have no direct access to the API. Maybe, yeah, that could be also a way to go over the Excel file.
Okay,
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Please raise your hand if still there are any question. Okay, there's one more question.
Thank you for the. I'm Rendra from Indonesia. Actually, I don't have a question. I just have a request. Please share the sample of Excel. The Excel which can generate the XML. Yeah, okay. Thank you very much.
Mr. Rüske is our boss. He is leading this department for force and torque calibrations, and yeah, he created that software. I'm not sure if it's now up to date, if it can support the latest DCC schema.
I think we at this hackathon they said they would publish a version for the most recent schema version 3.30. The last release I think was 3.21 or something like that.
I think yes.
Yeah, but we will provide you with the information. I think we will try to ask and link it maybe in the presentation or so. It's in the
in the wiki as a download.
Yeah, there's a DKD wiki, DCC wiki, and there's the link. But I think it's the old version. But I will check this and provide you with the information. I will note it down. Yeah, thank you very much. Sorry.
Okay. Thank you. I have two questions. The first one is about the DKD expert report that you have shown to us, and is there any report that we can download by DOI, and as that report can be could be served at the complement to ISO 70025, or it cannot. like another journal, because when we see the complement of ISO 17025, we need the standard method or standard guideline for our laboratory implementation. And can this DKD expert report we use as the standard template or standard blueprint for the DCC report? And the second question is maybe we can see the expert report that published issues the Germany language. Will the English version will also publish, or it's only available in Germany? Thank you.
So I think all the DCC expert reports, they should be available in English. So for FORCE, we only create a version in English.
Yeah, I can confirm it. I think the DKD export reports on DCC will all be also published in English. I even know some expert reports are also translated to Spanish, and yeah, I think, yeah, it would be more the first part of the question.
Can you repeat the first part of your question again, please?
Can we use the DKD expert report as a complement to ISO 17025 as a standard guideline or standard method? Then we can implement in our laboratory, especially in calibration laboratory.
Yeah, it's maybe a technical question. I know some also some other regions take it as an orientation point. It's no replacement for the ISO 17025. I would guess. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's no replacement for it, but maybe as an additional component or some, I would say some basis for you and your work on it. It can be seen. It's some kind of harmonization work, and you could definitely take a note of it or read it, or and also maybe give your input to the DKD or your feedback to the DKD. It can be, I think, reasonable.
So all these expert reports or the examples that they describe, they should be valid within the ISO 17025 norm.
They
should be valid according to that.
Yeah, I can also confirm it. When we create this in the DKD groups, when we create this DCC examples, ISO 17025 is definitely taken into account, and there are, I don't know, I can tell from the there are some, I don't know, Werkstoffprüfmaschinen. There are some testing machines. They have some special norms, and they are also considered. So, yeah. Okay. If that answers your question a little bit.
Yeah. So in harmonization, the DCC will use over the world, or it's only in PTB or some institution?
The DKD harmonization?
DCC harmonization about this DKD expert report will use over the world or only in some institution or laboratories?
If I understand correctly, it's you are also asking if it's only taking place in PTB or also internationally. Or
in harmonization.
Yeah, the aim, as I would say, I would say it started. Yeah, maybe it's a little bit of history, but this good practices, for example, started in the DCC core team because there was nobody else. So, in order to start, we as a DC, or we weren't even there at that time, but Professor Siegfried Tackel, for example, he pushed this forward with Shanna Schönhals, and they created some good practices in the at PTB locally. And now it's a little bit out of this because now it's in the DKD, and there you have also European partners. I know from Switzerland there are some companies inside, and also international people from international NMIs. I think Mexico. I think
right.
Mexico. I will also from the Scandinavian countries, and also I think it would be open also to Asian NMIs. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult because sometimes they talk German sometimes when there's no foreigner there. But when there are English speakers there, we try to also communicate in English. As I said, in the GitLab issues, for example, we switched them completely to English. It's not German anymore. And I think, your feedback or your involvement should be welcome, I would guess. But I would have to say, I have the contact data and the presentation of Thomas Krah and Wolfgang Schmidt. That I would recommend to get in contact with them on those issues. I know this, if you want to participate in the DKD cross-sectional group, I think at least there's some, you have to sign some. It's not really a contract, but an agreement or something like that. You don't have to pay money for it. So it's not free of charge as far as I know, but Mr. Thomas Krah and Mr. Wolfgang Schmidt know more about this since they are responsible. So yeah, unfortunately too much more information I don't have. But I think it would be a good thing. It should not be a German thing or a European thing, but it should be. It would be optimal if worldwide harmonization is there, and I don't know, a DCC from Indonesia can be read in Germany, or a German DCC can be read here. Yeah, would make things much easier.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your question.
We still have to discussion? Do we still have for discussion?
How you would like it?
Oh, one more question.
Hello, my name Raga is from Calibration Laboratory. I just want to ensure my understanding about digital transformation. So it means before we have level 1, then we will improve to become next level, just like that. So the important result is XML schema. So XML schema should be standardized, so everyone can use it without any difficult.
Yeah.
And I think in Indonesia, our customer still not understand about that. Just want to know if in German or in another country, is there any customer using XML? Maybe you can give an example. So, I know the customer have XML from Calibration Laboratory, then he will use maybe for another report, or how they will extract the information from XML. It's like that.
It's a very good question, actually. I think you also deserve a present for this question because it's really good, but it's a little bit difficult for us to answer. I think I know often, I don't know how much is it in the daily process, but there was a project between Testo and Porsche, for example, right? There was a presentation at the IMECO World Congress about it. That's an example I can give, and also maybe an example is the company Boehringer Ingelheim. Since starting next year, I think in 1st of January, they will only accept DCCs as calibration certificates.
So it's a large pharmaceutical company.
Yeah. So maybe it's a little bit depending on the field. So pharmaceutical companies are very interested in trying to push this, but some other areas are maybe making slow progress or saying, okay, we have to wait for the customers to demand it. On the other side, maybe it's also a task to offer this to the customer, so that they get the information about it, or get the interest, or show some use cases where it could be useful for them. Yeah, would make sense. Thank you for the question.
Yes. Anyone? Please raise your hand if still there any question. Okay, I think no more question. So
Thank you very much.
maybe you can continue your presentation. Thank
you.
you.
So now we come to the hands-on part. And I uploaded a PDF file onto this shared folder. It's in the folder day 2. And let me just share this file. So yeah, this file, these are instructions for creating a DCC template for mass. And yeah, we would like you to let's go through these instructions step by step and create your own DCC with the 𝙃𝙖𝙣𝙙𝙦 tool. And if any question arises there, just feel free to ask again. And if you have trouble, just call us and we are here to help.
Can you all access the 𝙃𝙖𝙣𝙙 tool, or we have some people here where the website is blocked? Any problems? I'll give you my laptop. You should be my laptop.
One thing that I forgot to mention is the mandatory fields that you have to fill in to get a valid DCC. They are marked with this asterisk, red asterisk. And if they are not filled in, you cannot export it as, because then it's not, it cannot be validated.
attention, please. Thank you. So we'll proceed to the coffee break. We will have some pause. So I hope that you get some refreshment. And the coffee break already decided at the design area. You can please make sure that you come back to this room in 20 minutes. Thank you.